Hello, this is Python Statistical, and in today's video we're going to look at an issue in initializing a Pandas data frame and how to fix it. So to be able to use a Pandas data frame, we need to first import the Pandas library. So I do that with import pandas as PD. Next I define a HTML dictionary. In this dictionary we have the key, which is month and year, and each month and year has a unique URL that it corresponds to. So next I define a Pandas data frame called each value, and I do that using the method DataFrame. So I go pd.dataframe, open and close brackets, and so the brackets are empty as I've not specified any parameters for this data frame. So I'm just trying to initialize an empty Pandas data frame. Next I define the all values Pandas data frame, and what I'll be doing is I'll populate the each value data frame, and then we'll append the each value data frame to the all values data frame so that we have everything in the one Pandas data frame. I then go on to print each value data frame just to see what that looks like. I am then going to use the for loop to access the contents of our HTML dictionary. So to do this we have for key comma value in HTML dictionary dot items open and close brackets. So we're using the items method to access the contents of the dictionary. So in this case the key corresponds to the month year and the value corresponds to the URL. Then I'm going to print the month year as a check, so we see that it's actually grabbing that value from the dictionary. And then I'm going to create a new column in the each value Pandas data frame, which I call month underscore year, and I set that equal to the key, which is the month year in our dictionary. And then I create a URL column in our each value Pandas data frame, which corresponds to the value. Then finally, in this loop, I append the each value Pandas data frame to the all values data frame, which then brings everything together in the one Pandas data frame. I forgot to mention, don't forget your colon, otherwise you'll get an error, as loops required is colon at the end of the loop. So the next thing I do is I use the setIndex method and set the keys equal to month underscore year. So in a Pandas data frame, you've got an index and then you've got the columns. So all I'm doing there is making the month year, which will be a column, into the index. And then finally, I will print the all values underscore ts for time series to see what we get. So let's run this code and see what happens. So as expected, when I print the each value Pandas data frame, before we try to fill it, it's empty. And this print statement I have for month and year, we see that we are pulling out the month and year from the HTML dictionary, but the all values Pandas data frame is also empty, and so there's a problem here. It hasn't been populated. So if we go to Variable Explorer, we can look at it, and so this is the one here, and let's open it up. We've got an index. We've just got the URL column, but that's empty. So we've got an issue here. So there is a way to fix this, and here is one way to fix this problem. There's other ways to do it, but I think this is the easiest way. So what we do is, instead of having no parameters in the data frame method in the brackets here, we'll actually more explicitly define the structure of the Pandas data frame. And we do this by defining data, in this case no data. We define an index. Now we use range 1, which means we will have just one row, and it'll have a value of 0 in that one row for the index column. And then we define the columns. In this case, I'm going to define month, year as my column. So I'll just comment this out. And let's rerun the code again and see what we get. Now we find that it has actually worked. So as we can see now, the all values Pandas data frame has been populated with the month, year as the index, and the URL column with all the unique URLs that go with each month and year. So let's take a look at the each value data frame that was created using the parameters. So we open it up. This is the last entry. So we had the index, which is 0, month, year, which is the last item of our dictionary. So December 2017, and that's URL 6. So if we have a look at the all values data frame, we can see that the index has the value 0 in each row, which was set from the range value of 1. So the stop value is 1, so you start at 0, and so each index row will have a 0 value. Then we have the month underscore year and the URL. And if we have a look at the data frame where we made the month and year the index, and we look at that structure, we can see now that the index is actually the month and the URL is the column, which is what we want. So this brings us to the end of this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you dislike it, give it a thumbs down. And if you really like it, subscribe to my channel, Python Statistical. And if you want to support me and support this channel, become a member of my Patreon. I'll give the description below. In becoming a member, you get access to all the Python code I write for the videos I have produced. Thank you for watching.